Today we are cooking and eating 100 years of school lunches, starting with the 1910s. Well, this was a time period where we saw revolutions, disasters, and a pandemic that wiped out a chunk of the population. Regardless, kids still went to school and they still needed to eat. One of the first lunch programs to develop was the 3-cent meals offered to kids in schools. This lunch consisted of things like pea soup, rice, a piece of bread, and if a student had an extra cent, they could opt for a dessert like stewed prunes, which we have here. I guess we're gonna start with the pea soup here. It's not bad. Would I make this again? No, but let's see if we try it with some rice. Maybe that might make it a little bit better. Or if we dip some bread in there. The rice helps. Now, stewed prunes. I don't like regular prunes, but these are stewed. So let's give it a try. And of course, we have our milk here because, you know, milk. They thought milk was helping you grow your bones. Does it actually? I don't know. I personally don't think so, but well, that's not too bad. Kind of sweet. I'm going to rate this taste-wise. We're gonna rate our food based on taste. I'd say like 3 marshmallows out of 10. Moving on to the 1920s, also known as the Roaring 20s, was a time for economic prosperity and technological advances. School lunches also saw some improvements as they were more focused on serving hot lunches, which consisted of a soup, a grilled cheese, creamed vegetables, fruit, and of course, your good old milk. Classic Campbell's is, you just can't beat that. I like you. Now back to the cream corn. This is just a classic. How can you not like this? Creamed vegetables don't really look that appetizing. We're gonna try it. So this delicious lunch here is a solid 7 out of 10 marshmallows. Unfortunately, the prosperity of the Roaring 20s didn't last too long as the Great Depression soared through the 1930s as most of the world was in a serious economic crisis. The school lunch program took a bit of a hit and most schools could not afford to provide lunches to the students. Regardless of what was on the menu, having a school lunch was better than no lunch at all, as millions of people were left hungry during this time. Peanut butter sandwiches, vegetable soup, fruit is what was served for most of the kids in school, which is what we have here. Delicious. Can't go wrong with peanut butter. Milk, again, and vegetable soup. Who doesn't like good old vegetable soup? Oh my goodness, that is a really good soup. Very, very yummy. I would give this probably 5 marshmallows out of 10. As we transition from the Great Depression to the 1940s comes World War II. The number of available workers that helped with the school lunch programs had dropped, leaving many kids without meals. In 1946, the National School Lunch Act was passed, which expanded the availability of school lunches across the nation. This program included food such as cream chipped beef, cornmeal pudding, and fruit shortcake. It's salty. I'll try a piece of the beef. Okay, for another time period where people were poor and didn't have many options, this is pretty good. Now, we're gonna try this cornmeal pudding for the first time, and then we'll try a little bit of the shortcake, because again, fruit and cake, I don't know. Oh, that's pretty good. That would go really well with the milk. I like that a lot. And now, dun dun dun, that's a huge piece. That's a really big honker. Oh my goodness. Oh, the cake part's good. The chunks of fruit, not so good. This meal is gonna get rated 5 marshmallows out of 10. After World War II came the baby boom of the 1950s, which meant more mouths to feed. So that's a higher production of food. Cold lunches made a comeback, which consisted of a bologna sandwich, cottage cheese, fruits like applesauce, and tomato wedges. I don't think I've had a bologna sandwich since I was like, I don't know, 5, 6. So here comes some nostalgia. Good old bologna. Just how I remembered it. It's not bad. It's not like great, but it'll do. It'll fill your belly. Now, cottage cheese. This is something you either love it or you don't. I don't think there's really any in between. I personally don't mind cottage cheese. So, it's good. Protein. Keep you full. And I wonder how it would be if we dipped our tomatoes in the cottage cheese. You can have it sometimes sweet or savory. That works too. Sometimes I like to mix cottage cheese. I'll blend it really smooth. I'll mix a little Nutella in there. Oh, so good. Try that. And if you do try it, let me know in the comments down below. And good old applesauce. Yep. This lunch, honestly, is really good. It's really filling. It's got some nutrients. I gotta give this 6 marshmallows out of 10. The 1960s was a decade of radical change and freedom! New menu items were beginning to phase into schools, such as pizza and enchiladas, but old-time favorites such as tater tots, fish sticks with tartar sauce could still be consumed along with chocolate milk and pudding. And finally, some chocolate milk fish sticks. Oh boy. I wonder like what kind of fish this even is. And tartar sauce. Pretty fishy. Pretty good. Pretty good, but the tater tots. But that's where it's at. You can have these for breakfast. You could have these for lunch. You could have these for a snack. Pretty much tater tots all day long. Definitely, we're gonna try these peas because, you know, vegetables. You better eat your vegetables. Good for you. Also, quick disclaimer here. All of the food you see me not eating is not going to waste. I do have a family to feed. We're huge on reusing food, so trust me, everything's gonna get packaged, fed to somebody in this house. We are not throwing it out. I gotta rate this lunch 8 marshmallows out of 10. The 70s saw fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King coming in hot to the schools. Burgers, fries, corn, and Jell-O were a few options found on the menu for lunch during this period. Nutritional standards began to decrease, and the USDA put out guidelines for the minimum nutritional value requirement. We will take a nice delicious bite and good old McDonald's fries. Honestly, if I had McDonald's in my school when I was growing up, I'd probably be like 30,000 pounds. And the fries, got chocolate milk, got some corn, which isn't really a nutritious vegetable, but better than nothing. And Jell-O. Jell-O always makes me think of like hospital food. I probably wouldn't eat Jell-O at school, but pretty good. So this meal, I would probably rate it for its deliciousness 8 marshmallows out of 10. Seriously though, how can we trust the food guide when in the 1980s they classified ketchup as a vegetable? This was the era of processed foods and the invention of what I used to have as a kid were Lunchables. These are still around today, so this might look a little familiar. I have the crackers and kielbasa and cheese version, which like honestly, what is this? This is not much food at all. Like you could just cut this up, like buy the stuff and cut it up yourself, and you could have like a significant amount more. I don't get this. Like, oh my goodness, look at this. Flimsy and small. And these are expensive. I mean, it's cute and it's cut in a perfect circle, but I would much rather buy these ingredients myself. This is a snack. This is not lunch. Oh, good. But I guess kids, they would rather snack than eat a full meal, but I'm gonna have to give this like a 4 marshmallows out of 10. Here we are moving on to the best time period of the century, the 90s. I was just a wee girl in school, and fast food services, we were being bombarded to the students. So pizzas, burgers, anything that was not healthy, we were eating in school. This might be one of the unhealthiest lunches that we've had doing this video, but like the best and probably my favorite. If you guys remember, if you've ever had, this was probably my favorite snack as a kid. Not a fruit in sight, not a vegetable in sight, just pure junk. This, for me, is getting a solid 9 marshmallows out of 10. In the early 2000s, schools realized that kids were gaining weight, which is super unhealthy. Bad for your heart, bad for your mind, bad for your whole well-being. So they started to focus more on healthier lunch options. Grilled jerk chicken, barbecue pork sandwiches, fresh fruits and vegetables instead of the canned stuff, which we have here. We've got some fresh steamed broccoli, some apple slices, some deliciously seasoned potatoes, and our grilled jerk chicken. Now, and water, no more milk, no more drinks with sugar. I mean, there were still options, but water became more focused on because you needed to live. You can't go 3 days without it or you will die. So our chicken here, I made this and it's one of my favorite dinners. I make it at least once every 2 weeks and it's very spicy. So I like to burn my mouth off a little bit. That's gonna burn later. And we have fresh broccoli, which is amazing for you. So happy to see this being offered to kids. And potatoes. Potatoes are full of vitamins, nutrients, extremely satiating, so they will keep you fuller for longer, so you're not reaching for the junk food as often. Honestly, it would be nice to have just a little treat maybe at the end. So I'm gonna give this 8 marshmallows out of 10. And healthy eating campaigns begin to make stronger appearances in schools. Menu items such as turkey hot dogs, broccoli, and potatoes were offered alongside burgers and pizza. So you still get the best of both worlds. Here we have our turkey hot dog. We've got some orange slices, a nice little salad, and a little dessert pudding. Looking at how balanced this is, like, this is a wonderful meal, especially to give healthy little brains growing in school. Tastes like a regular hot dog. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Salad, orange, pudding, and some H2O. Keep you hydrated. But I'm the dessert first kind of person. Which was funny because I said earlier, I hadn't had pudding in forever. But having it now, it's pretty delicious. This is really good. This is a really good meal. I'm really happy to see all this on the plates. This is definitely a solid 9 marshmallows out of 10. Food has definitely transformed over the last 100 years. We have come a long way from pea soup to turkey hot dogs. I think the meal I enjoyed most, like personally setting nutritional value aside, would be the one from the 90s with the pizza. It's just nostalgic to me. I absolutely love pizza and the little treats and stuff. had it as I had it when I was a kid growing up. But the meals that are the most beneficial, the most balanced, I'd say were from the 2000s and the 2010s, when we had the jerk chicken up to the turkey hot dogs. They just had the fruits, the veggies, everything that you need today. So I cannot wait to see what the next 100 years has in store. Bye!